Ever wondered about a time when a family dinner at a restaurant cost less than your daily cup of coffee? Or perhaps marveled at gasoline prices that now seem like a distant dream? The 1960s was a decade renowned for its profound cultural shifts where a sense of liberation swept the globe. Amidst these transformative times, an economic landscape made the cost of everyday items surprisingly more affordable than the present day. Join us as we unveil 20 things that were way cheaper in the 1960s. Back in the 1960s, enjoying a tasty meal at a restaurant was a budget-friendly treat costing only about $2 on average. Fast forward to today. That same dining experience would set you back around $17.25 in today's currency. Why the significant increase? Labor costs have risen, rent prices have soared, and the restaurant industry has expanded immensely. The 60s were all about delicious meals without straining your wallet, but in the 21st century, dining out demands a bit more from our pockets. Blame it on higher wages, skyrocketing rent, and the massive growth of the restaurant scene. As time passed, the price tag on dining out has evolved from the good old days of a $1.02 meal to today's reality of around $17.25, leaving us with memories of more affordable culinary adventures. Purchasing tickets for professional sports games in the 60s was a different experience than today. Here is what you need to know. Catching a sports event was a more affordable endeavor in the 60s, as the average ticket price hovered around $5. When factoring in inflation, that same ticket would now carry an approximate price tag of $43.13 in today's currency. This stark contrast in pricing highlights a bygone era when enjoying live sports was more accessible for fans. Since then, ticket price escalation can be attributed to various factors: the exponential rise in athlete salaries, the construction and maintenance costs of modern stadiums, and the ever-increasing demand for live sports experiences have collectively fueled the surge in ticket prices. This economic shift underscores the transformation in attending sports events, with financial considerations evolving alongside the changing landscape of professional sports from the 1960s to the present day. In the 60s, people paid around $30 monthly for utilities, which translates to about $259.50 today. This substantial increase can be attributed to various factors that have shaped the landscape of utility expenses. One significant contributor is the rapid pace of technological progress. The complexity and cost of maintaining these sophisticated systems have risen as we've embraced cutting-edge innovations. Simultaneously, our growing reliance on utilities has surged demand. The heightened need for electricity, water, and other essential services has naturally increased costs. Additionally, constant attention to infrastructure maintenance and upgrades is essential to ensure the reliability and efficiency of utility services. These investments in modernization and upkeep contribute significantly to the higher billing figures we see today. A convergence of these factors has led to the evolution of utility costs over the decades, reflecting the dynamic interplay of technological advancements, societal demands, and infrastructure stewardship. Ever asked yourself why a simple wardrobe update didn't cost an arm and a leg back then? Let's find out why.
There's no collection of fun-at-home hostess fashions that speak for themselves.
Getting a pair of jeans, even from designer brands, was a pocket-friendly affair, with an average cost hovering around $6 in the 60s. Fast forward to today, that seemingly modest amount, adjusted for inflation, equates to roughly $51.75. One major player in this transformation is the escalation of labor costs. As wages have increased, so have the expenses associated with producing clothing items, inevitably leading to higher consumer prices. The contemporary shift towards fast fashion, characterized by quick production cycles and rapidly changing trends, has economic implications. The demand for constantly evolving styles adds pressure on manufacturers, who in turn may raise prices to keep up with the pace.
GEC appliances and Schreiber cupboards, making complete units, bringing you the kind of kitchen you thought was beyond your reach. See it at your Schreiber Furniture Center.
In the 1960s, acquiring a sofa didn't put as much strain on the wallet, with the average cost resting comfortably at $200. Translating that into today's currency paints a different picture, equating to approximately $1,725. The notable uptick in the price tags of our home furnishings reflects a confluence of factors steering the furniture industry. One prominent factor influencing this financial shift is the escalated cost of materials. As the expense of raw materials has risen, so has the overall cost of manufacturing furniture. Simultaneously, the logistics of transporting these sizable items have become more intricate and expensive, contributing to the upward trajectory of prices. Moreover, consumer expectations regarding design quality have evolved. With a growing emphasis on complex craftsmanship, durability, and aesthetic appeal, manufacturers must invest more in the production process, inevitably impacting the final retail price. Basic landline service and local calls were budget-friendly, with the average monthly telephone bill at a mere $10. In present-day currency, this translates to around $86.25. The noticeable ascent in telephone service costs can be traced back to a fabric of technological advancements, shifts in infrastructure, and a surge in service features. The transition from analog to digital infrastructure has entailed substantial investments in upgrading and maintaining communication networks. This, coupled with the integrating of sophisticated technologies, has contributed to the overall increase in service costs. Additionally, the modern landscape of telephone services is marked by an expansion in features offered to consumers. Including voicemail, call waiting, and other conveniences has become the norm. While enhancing the user experience, these added features incur extra expenses, influencing the overall cost structure. Want to know why certain technological marvels of the 1960s were more reasonably priced? The answer might surprise you.
You won't have to search for the sharpest color picture if you have this. Zenith's AFC, Automatic Fine-Tuning Control.
During the 1960s, families had fewer options for television sets, but the ones available were more affordable, averaging around $250. This would be akin to approximately $2,156.25 in today's economic context. The transformation in television pricing is not solely due to inflation, but is closely linked to remarkable technological progress. Television sets have evolved significantly since the 1960s, with notable improvements such as larger screens and higher resolutions. The demand for more sophisticated features and the desire for an enhanced viewing experience have increased production costs. As a result, consumers now encounter a broader array of choices, featuring TVs equipped with cutting-edge technologies. The dynamic shift from simpler models to more advanced, feature-rich options contributes substantially to today's escalated prices. Music records emerged as a widely favored and economical source of entertainment, typically priced at an average of $3 in the 60s. Translated into today's monetary value, this amounts to around $25.88, adjusting for inflation. Once a mainstream form of musical enjoyment, vinyl records have experienced a decline in production. The advent of digital formats, such as CDs and streaming services, has altered the way people access and experience music. This transformation has relegated vinyl records to a niche market, influencing their pricing dynamics. As production volumes decreased due to the evolving preferences of music enthusiasts, the scarcity and collector's appeal of vinyl have increased prices. Therefore, while music records were once an affordable and prevalent form of entertainment, their shift to a more specialized market has played a pivotal role in reshaping their availability and cost in today's diverse music landscape. Were you aware that during the 1960s, the annual expense for newspaper and magazine subscriptions was less than $16? Keep watching to find out more. In the 1960s, periodicals were a budget-friendly source of information, boasting an average annual subscription cost of $15. Accounting for inflation, this translates to approximately $129.38 in today's currency. The decline of print media and the widespread shift towards digital platforms have reshaped the dynamics of the periodical industry. Traditional publications face economic challenges as readers increasingly turn to online sources for news and information. The costs associated with print production, distribution, and maintenance of physical outlets have escalated, impacting the affordability of traditional subscriptions. Simultaneously, the rise of digital alternatives has altered the revenue streams for these publications, prompting adjustments in pricing models. Consequently, the once accessible world of periodicals has evolved, reflecting the broader societal trend toward digital consumption and its consequential influence on the economic viability of traditional print media. In the 1960s, sending letters and packages through the mail was remarkably economical, with a stamp costing 5 cents. In today's currency, this equates to approximately 43 cents. However, the operational costs of postal services have risen significantly, impacting the pricing structure of stamps. Factors such as increased labor expenses, fuel costs, and the maintenance of an extensive postal network contribute to the upward trend in stamp prices. Moreover, the decline in traditional mail usage with the advent of electronic communication and alternative courier services has reduced the volume of mail handled by postal agencies. In response to these shifts, postal services have adjusted their pricing to ensure the sustainability of their operations. Thus, the once affordable postage rates of the 1960s reflect the impact of inflation and the evolving dynamics and challenges postal services face in the modern era.
Kick the habit and go for value at Kroger. Kroger carries more famous brands in more sizes at more everyday low prices than almost any other store in town.
In the 60s, essential food items like fruits, vegetables, meat, and dairy were notably more affordable than people's incomes. During this era, the average weekly grocery expenditure stood at approximately $1.40, which, when adjusted for inflation, equates to around $345 in today's currency. Several factors contributed to this economic shift over the years. Inflation, the rise in production costs, and the intricate nature of contemporary food supply chains have all played pivotal roles. As time progressed, these elements have collectively influenced the cost dynamics of our daily sustenance. The economic landscape has evolved, significantly changing the accessibility and pricing of basic food staples. Understanding these factors helps illuminate the complex interplay between historical contexts and the affordability of essential food commodities in our modern society. Buses and trains served as more economical means of transportation, featuring fares as low as 25 cents, which when adjusted for inflation translates to around $2.16 in today's currency. The affordability of public transit during that era provided widespread accessibility for commuters. However, the present scenario reveals a notable increase in fare prices. Escalating operational costs, ongoing maintenance requirements, and the imperative for infrastructural enhancements collectively contribute to the uptick in public transit fares. As cities have expanded and populations have grown, the demand for efficient and reliable transportation has intensified. Consequently, transit agencies face the challenge of balancing affordability with the need for sustained service quality. Recognizing these factors sheds light on the intricate dynamics behind the evolution of public transportation costs over the decades. In the 1960s, enjoying concerts and music events was budget-friendly, as the average ticket cost was a mere $5. When translated into today's dollars, this amounts to around $43.13. The surge in production costs, the heightened demand for top-notch performances, and the escalation of artist fees have collectively propelled ticket price increases. As music enthusiasts seek more elaborate and immersive experiences, organizers grapple with the financial pressures of delivering such heightened spectacles. The evolving dynamics of the entertainment industry underscore the delicate balance between providing quality performances and the economic realities of making such events financially sustainable for organizers and artists. This transformation reflects the broader shifts in consumer expectations and the costs associated with delivering premium live music experiences. Wondering why your grandparents could travel without emptying their pockets? Well, stick with us to find out.
Who ever heard of an airline that goes around the world twice a day, every day?
Catching a plane was affordable for many back then, with the average domestic flight cost at a reasonable $100. When we adjust for inflation, that's about $862.50 in today's money. But over the years, getting on a plane has become more expensive due to various factors. Rising fuel prices, increased security measures, and higher operational costs have all contributed to a significant surge in airfare. As the aviation industry grapples with global events and evolving security needs, passengers feel the impact through their wallets with higher ticket prices. This shift unveils the economic complexities shaping the affordability and accessibility of commercial air travel today. So, the journey from the 1960s, where flying was a pocket-friendly experience, to the present, where it often comes with a hefty price tag, reflects the complex relationship between economic factors and the ever-changing dynamics of the aviation world. During the 1960s, heading to the movies was a popular and affordable pastime, as the average ticket cost a mere 75 cents. In today's dollars, that would be around $6.47. However, the cinematic landscape has transformed over the years, leading to a noticeable surge in ticket prices. Investments in cutting-edge technology heightened production costs, and an overall emphasis on enhancing the movie-watching experience contributed to the increased cost of cinema tickets. As theaters embrace innovations such as state-of-the-art sound systems, high-definition visuals, and immersive formats, the expenses associated with delivering these enhancements are reflected in ticket pricing. Recognizing the impact of these factors provides insight into the economic dynamics driving the evolution of the film industry and the costs associated with providing audiences with a modern and captivating cinematic experience. Did you know the doctor's bill wasn't a major cause for concern in the 1960s? Well, let's investigate why healthcare expenses are significantly more manageable.
Today, they go for regularly scheduled examinations because they know their dentist is a specialist.
Medical treatments and health insurance were remarkably more affordable, with an average annual health insurance premium as low as $120, equivalent to $1,035 in today's currency. Various factors, including limited but effective medical technology, influenced healthcare costs during this era. Fast forward to the present, the landscape has transformed with significant advances in medical technology, contributing to enhanced but costly treatments. Additionally, administrative expenses have surged, adding to the complexity of healthcare financing. Moreover, the aging population with longer life expectancies has increased demand for healthcare services, pushing costs upwards. These intricate interplays underscore the substantial rise in healthcare expenses over the years. Curious why your favorite classic car would have been a steal in the 60s? Let's explore the reasons behind the jaw-dropping price difference. During the 1960s, cars, even the latest models, were notably more economical regarding the average income. The average price for a new car back then stood at $2,500, equivalent to approximately $21,562.50 in today's monetary value. The affordability of these vehicles can be attributed to a simpler technological landscape and lower production costs. In contrast, present-day cars command higher prices due to many factors. Technological advancements have introduced sophisticated features, enhancing performance and safety, but contributing to elevated costs. Moreover, the production process has become more complex, involving advanced materials and intricate assembly methods. Consequently, the amalgamation of technological enhancements and heightened production expenses has led to a significant increase in the overall price of cars relative to the average income.
Today, without a college education, there is little chance for our young people to become leaders in science, industry, and world affairs.
In the 1960s, college tuition fees were significantly more affordable, with the average annual cost totaling $500, a figure equivalent to around $4,312.50 when adjusted for inflation. This affordability reflected a different era in higher education, marked by lower administrative expenses and less expansive campus structures. Fast forward to the present, and the dynamics have shifted. The surge in demand for higher education, coupled with the expansion of campuses and increased administrative costs, has led to a substantial rise in tuition fees. The evolving landscape of academia, with its heightened emphasis on advanced facilities and diverse programs, has necessitated greater financial investment. Consequently, the confluence of increased demand, expanding administrative needs, and the evolving nature of educational institutions have contributed to the considerable escalation in college tuition fees. Do you find yourself questioning the astronomical prices of today's housing market? Stay tuned as we find out what has changed over time. In the 1960s, the housing market was notably more attainable, featuring an average home price of $17,000, equivalent to approximately $146,887.50 when adjusted for inflation. Back then, construction materials and labor costs were less pronounced, contributing to the accessibility of homes. However, the contemporary housing landscape tells a different story. The enduring impact of inflation, a surge in housing demand, and the escalating costs of construction materials and labor have significantly elevated home prices. As a result, the confluence of these factors has made housing less accessible for many, underscoring the profound changes in the economic dynamics of the real estate market between the 1960s and today.
With better gasoline mileage, trust your car to the man who wears the star. Get new Texaco Sky Cheap, the new premium gasoline.
In contemporary times, the current fuel cost may prompt reconsideration regarding vehicle ownership. In contrast, during the 1960s, fuel prices were notably more budget-friendly, averaging 31 cents per gallon, which, when adjusted for inflation, is approximately equivalent to $2.60 in today's currency. The affordability of gasoline during that era can be attributed to a simpler global energy landscape and lower demand. Fluctuating oil prices, influenced by geopolitical factors and heightened global demand, have played a significant role in driving up gasoline prices. The intricacies of international relations and the geopolitical climate contribute to the volatility in oil markets, directly impacting what consumers pay at the pump. Consequently, the combination of fluctuating oil prices and increased global demand underscores the substantial rise in gasoline prices, reflecting the evolving nature of the energy market over the decades.